need to be in a safe place as well, your tornado safe shelter. Whenever we talk about a tornado safe room, we're talking about the lowest portion of your home. If you have a basement, that's fantastic. But if you're on a multi-story home, the first floor is where you want to be, and you want to put as many windows between yourself, or as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible. So the most interior portion of your home, away from windows and doors. Usually, whenever we talk about tornadoes, we're talking bathrooms are usually the most safe place to be because of all the piping that is in your walls. But if your bathroom is, say, very close to an outside wall, maybe you're going to want to be in a closet or an interior hallway. When you are in your tornado safe room, of course, you want to get as low to the ground as possible. Protect yourself from the potential for flying debris. Cover your head if you have a helmet. I know a lot of folks here in Central Texas, they're tornado safe rooms. You may have a helmet that's kind of stashed away, some blankets or anything like that. It's a great idea to take that and hang on to it, or of course, put that helmet on as you're getting into your tornado safe room. Again, we're talking the arrival time of this potential tornado in Copper's Cove almost right now, and I do want to show you the newest scan. We'll get rid of some of the tracker box right there. We're seeing some tightening rotation. So that is not necessarily a good sign. So just to the south of the small community of Topsy is where this potential tornado would be. And there is Copper's Cove proper itself. So it's kind of splitting the difference between Copper's Cove and Topsy right now. But especially if you are in Copper's Cove, you need to be in that tornado safe room as soon as possible, right away. Same thing if you are in Pidcoke, if you're in along Fort Cavazos, especially on the Coryell County side of Fort Cavazos. Gatesville, you are okay for right now. You don't need to go into your tornado safe room, but as the storm continues to march its way towards the northeast, we still could see it move a little bit more towards the north. So Gatesville, be on alert. Flat, be on alert as well. Pidcoke, Copper's Cove, and Kempner still stay in your tornado safe rooms. If you are in Lampasas, you are in the clear from this tornado-warned storm. And I really want to zoom down. You can actually see we're going to get a new radar update in just a moment or two. Note those greens and the reds right next to one another. That is where that greatest potential for a tornado is going to be, and that is right across Lampasas and into Coryell County, up and down from Pidcoke to Copper's Cove. That is where the greatest tornado potential is going to be for the next couple of minutes. So far, if you were in western Bell County, yes, this tornado-warned storm is technically, you're technically under this tornado warning. However, I do want to point out that at least for the time being, this is a Copper's Cove northward threat. So if you're in far western Bell County, I would say stay close to your tornado safe room just in case this storm does take a little bit more of an easterly jog. Because whenever we talk about a tornado-warned storm and a storm like this that is by itself without anything to impede the influx of warm and humid air, that is the most dangerous type of tornado-warned storm because it could potentially move eastward. Typically, tornadic storms, they start moving northeastward, but especially if they strengthen, they can sometimes move eastward. So Kempner, Copper's Cove, Killeen, Harker Heights, be on alert for this thunderstorm as it continues to march its way into Lampasas County, especially if you're on FM 116. You can see it right there from Copper's Cove up towards Pidcoke. FM 580, that is where this rotation is showing up at the current time. We're going to switch it back over to that rotation view so we can see the wind velocity within the storm. And again, we haven't seen too much of a change. We haven't gotten that newest scan in just yet, but as we kind of go back and forth between one scan and the next, you see that, yeah, there's that tight rotation just about 15 minutes ago. It's broadened out a little bit and is now tightening back up again. This is very, very close to the small community of Topsy. FM 1113, Topsy is right there. Lutheran Church Road. If any of this sounds familiar to you, you need to be in your tornado safe room right now because this storm is bearing down on you. And even in Copper's Cove, I know we're talking about kind of this halfway point between Topsy and Copper's Cove proper. But even if you are in Copper's Cove, you need to stay in that tornado safe room. We are urging you to get into that lowest portion of your house, the most interior portion of your house, away from windows and doors, and stay there until the all clear is given. Kempner, you're doing okay right now. We're continuing to see this storm pull away from you. I would give it another about 5 minutes or so before the all clear would be given for Kempner. And again, kind of on the left side of your screen, Lampasas, you are in the all clear right now. You are all good as far as this tornado warned storm go. We are continuing. We're in contact with the National Weather Service, of course. Just like what I was saying, that low-level rotation, it's still there. It's weakening a little bit. It's kind of ebbing and flowing, going back and forth. But we have not so far seen any sort of thunderstorms before this one to move through to kind of help stabilize the atmosphere a little bit. So again, this is an imminent tornado threat. It may weaken a touch. It could potentially go right back to imminently producing a tornado. We're just kind of waiting and seeing. But if you are between Topsy and Coppers Cove in either one of those towns, interior room away from windows and doors, that is exactly where you need to be as this storm continues to move its way through. Again, this tornado warned storm, as we switch back over to radar, this continues, the tornado warning continues until 11:30. So we still have another 30 minutes that the storm is going to be potentially producing a tornado. And of course, if it continues to show rotation, that warning may continue to be extended. The good news is, just kind of getting a quick and dirty look as to what's been going on over the past about 30 minutes. You can kind of see that rotation really getting going just to the east of Lampasas. However, that storm has kind of ebbed and flowed, gone back and forth, and has not been looking quite as good for a tornado recently. But those rotating winds are still there, potentially right above the surface. And, of course, the farther away from the surface you go, there's going to be a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere, and if that wind shear gets closer to the ground, that is when we're going to be a little bit more concerned about a tornado. And also some good news, I've been to Coppers Cove a couple of different times for some tornado talks to the kiddos out there. One thing I always hear about Coppers Cove is, well, Coppers Cove can't get hit by a tornado because there's all the hills around and everything. Now, of course, this may prove that, of course, that's not the case, and we don't want you to let your guard down just because of, an old wives' tale that city or town can't get hit by a tornado. But I will say the kind of hilly terrain could potentially be impacting this storm a little bit, maybe causing it to not be quite as strong, which is great news. That's something we want to hear. We want to keep away from getting this rotation tightened back up again. And again, it is broadening up. I'm very optimistic because now, remember how those greens and the reds were very close to one another? That is no longer the case. It's more looking as kind of just back and forth, and instead of rotating around itself, it's kind of going like this. But that is still potentially something that in this environment could eventually produce a tornado within about the next 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to go ahead, though, and give the all clear for Kempner. Kempner, you are all clear away from this tornadic storm. So if you are in your tornado safe room, you can come out of it. I do want to point out, though, Coppers Cove, Pidcoke, and Topsy stay in that tornado safe room. If you're in the city of Flat, technically you are just on the outer fringes of this tornado warned storm, but I would get ready to move into your tornado safe room within the next couple of minutes. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of this triangle between Topsy, Coppers Cove, and Pidcoke, where the worst of this thunderstorm is, not only just with the potential for $half size hail, but also for that tornadic potential as well. The storm continuing to kind of move its way northward up towards FM 116, FM 580, Twin Mountain Road. If any of this sounds familiar to you, that is, of course, we're talking about where this greatest tornado risk is going to be. And we're continuing to get these new radar scans in, and as time goes on, we're looking better. We're looking better for the rotation to be weakening just a little bit. And I'm curious to see what the next scan is going to do, because that next scan, at least judging off of what it looks like right now, this tornadic portion of the storm may be starting to call it quits, which is exactly what we want to hear. I do want to quickly switch over to the hail sides because we kind of, talking about the tornado, sometimes hail can get lost in the sauce a little bit. And this also is really great news for Pidcoke, Topsy, and Copper's Cove, because just a couple of moments ago, we were seeing the hail potentially get up to about near golf ball size hail. And when you have a lot of really big hail, that usually indicates a strong updraft within a thunderstorm. It usually indicates that a storm is maintaining its intensity, but at least over the past couple of radar scans, we have kind of seen that come down just a little bit, that hail size come down, which indicates the storm may be slowly weakening. And let's see if we got that latest scan in just yet as far as that rotating wind. No, we're still working on that same scan. Should be coming here any second now. But again, if you're just joining us over the past couple of moments, you see how this rotation, when it was moving near Kempner, was very, very tight. The greens and the reds, not only very vibrant and strong, but very close to one another, rotating counterclockwise. But over the past about 20 minutes or so, we have really seen that rotation start to decrease, which is great news. Still though, Kempner, you're in the all clear. Topsy, Copper's Cove, and Pidcoke, you still need to be in your tornado safe room. Now, if you are in Bell County, technically you're still under this tornado warning, but I think we can go ahead and, at least for the southwestern portion of Bell County, the western portion of Bell County, you are in the clear right now. A couple of moments ago, we mentioned that if a tornado were to form with this storm, and if this storm were to continue to strengthen, sometimes these tornadic storms can make a sudden right turn. So even though this storm is still very, very far from Killeen, you're still going to need to keep a very close watch on this storm. Again, no imminent signs that this is going to produce a tornado right now, and it continues to show signs of potentially weakening a little bit. But all it takes in this environment is a couple of minutes of warm and humid air moving in, which there's nothing down here to kind of prevent that from happening. All it takes is a couple of more minutes for the storm to get its act together and potentially produce a tornado. We have lots of wind shear in the atmosphere. We have lots of strong winds. And here we go. There's that latest radar scan. Continued good news is what it's looking like. Now, I will say that the rotating part of this thunderstorm is still very much rotating just to the south of Pidcoke right now. But instead of seeing the very vibrant greens and reds very close to one another, instead of seeing that, we're kind of seeing more broad scale rotation. The low level rotation, the tight rotation. If you've ever seen a tornado or seen tornado pictures, we're talking about a very small area. We're not talking about, miles and miles of rotation, although the strongest thunderstorms, the strongest tornadoes can. This right here with a lot more greens on one side, the reds on the other, not very, very close to one another and not very compact. That is some good news, indicating that the storm is still very, very strong, still rotating, but that low-level rotation may have backed off just a little bit. Again, if you're in Pidcoke, you are under threat, immediate threat of this tornado potential producing storm. I keep saying potential because we have not heard any reports yet from any storm spotters or from the National Weather Service, anyone close to the storm, that a tornado has formed. And honestly, I think if a tornado happened with this storm, it probably happened, I would say, about 15, 20 minutes ago. Copper's Cove, 5 more minutes, I would say, before we can give the all clear for you as to come out of your tornado safe rooms. Same thing for Topsy, although Topsy, I would say, probably another 10 minutes before we can give you the all clear. On the far western side of Fort Cavazos, Fort Cavazos kind of goes into parts of Coryell County and Bell County too. Fort Cavazos is still very much under threat for this tornado as well. Pidcoke, of course, you are just a couple of miles to the north of this strongest portion of this storm. And a little bit farther down the line, again, the storm has weakened a little bit. It hasn't been producing that really, really tight rotation. But if it were to continue on the path that it is currently taking, it would be moving towards flat within the next about 30 minutes or so. 11:36 is when this storm, with the potential to produce a tornado, would be moving very close towards flat. Now, after that, then it still becomes a little bit of a guessing game because, it doesn't take much for these storms to either quickly strengthen or quickly weaken. So once we get past Flat, which is right here, then of course this storm is going to be getting a little bit closer to a much more populated county in McLennan County. So we are hoping that this storm does not kind of keep on that same northeasterly path. If it would, we're talking roughly about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes that this could be moving towards McGregor. Again, McGregor, no immediate tornado threat. Flat, I would start to get into your tornado safe room right now. Of course, if you're in Pidcoke, you should be in your tornado safe room. And if you're worried about maybe not hearing the all clear or whatnot, one thing we tell folks to do whenever we have these tornado warned storms moving towards them is we want you to turn your television up. You can also, of course, I'm pretty sure we are going to be, if we're not already, we should be streaming on one of our apps, the weather app. Are we? We're on everything. Okay, good. So you have multiple different options if you're going into your tornado safe room. We are on our Facebook page. We are on our free KWTX weather app, which is, of course, going to be a vital tool for the next couple of days as we have a couple of days, 3 more days of severe storm chances. Facebook, and of course, you're watching us right now on your television. Make sure that volume is turned up. And if you're, you have your phone with you, you have a cell phone, bring it into your tornado safe room. Find us on the app, find us on Facebook, and we'll get you through this storm. Again, the great news is, as we're kind of waiting for that next radar scan to show up, which happens every about 3 or 4 minutes, we're hoping that the broad rotation is not tightening up. This is rotating. This storm is rotating. It's probably going to try to get its act together again with this much broad rotation. However, it may potentially just kind of rotate on a more broad basis. So that is the one thing we're watching for. Again, we're still in contact with the National Weather Service. Tornado threat is continuing with the storm. Kind of like we said, this big broad-scale rotation could very easily tighten up very quickly. We also do, though, have that tornado warning. It's in effect for Lampasas and Bell County, but that is going to change shortly. The Weather Service is going to be updating who is and who is not under that tornado warning. And actually, just in the past couple of moments, that tornado warning has been canceled for western Bell County and for Lampasas County. So if you are in Killeen, Harker Heights, on the western side of Bell County, you are for now in the clear. Again, I don't see any imminent signs that this storm is going to make a hard right turn, which can happen sometimes. So really right now, that threat continues across southern Coryell County. That is where this tornado warning is remaining in effect for just about the next 20 minutes. Again, we're kind of bouncing back and forth between different radars. This is just a little bit too far away from our radar in Hamilton to get a really good look, so we're using different radars. This one is down in Williamson County. And again, if you've been sticking with us and watching this coverage over the past about hour, or not hour, 30 minutes or so, this rotation, look, we go back and forth. You can kind of see that rotation, it started out really, really tight. Look at that rotation, especially just to the west of Kempner. When we're talking about the greens and the reds, very, very close to one another, that is what we're talking about. But just over the past, 30 minutes since this tornado warning has been issued, you can see, that rotation's staying around. But it's looking a little bit more ragged, which is definitely some good news. Hopefully this storm continues to just kind of be a little bit ragged. If you are anywhere, though, between Gatesville and Flat along Highway 36, anywhere between Gatesville and Flat, and also kind of in this triangle, Gatesville to Flat to Pidcoke, this storm is moving your way. There's not a lot of stuff out into Coryell County, especially, with Fort Cavazos, just kind of taking up about half the county. But, if you have a ranch out there, if you live in the more rural parts of Coryell County between Gatesville, Flat, and Pidcoke, this is the time to get into your tornado precaution, your tornado safe room. And again, Flat, you should be getting into your tornado safe room pretty much right about now. Coppers Cove, we're going to go ahead and give you the all clear. So if you are in Coppers Cove and you are in your tornado safe room, it is okay to come out and resume your normal activities, so long as that doesn't mean you're driving northward into this thunderstorm. Again, it's really Pidcoke, just to the east of Pidcoke, just to the east of FM 116, that this rotation within this thunderstorm is continuing. 11:13 right now on the clock, so we have just about 15 more minutes left of this tornado warning. And if this signs continue to show that this storm is going to weaken very, very slowly, which it has been over the past 15 or so minutes, then that is good news, and hopefully that tornado warning will not be extended. Taking a look though at partnership with the National Weather Service, nothing new jumping out. We're still just kind of waiting to see if this storm will cycle back and potentially strengthen yet again. A couple of moments ago, we took a look at some of the hail sizes, and I want to do that right now because that can sometimes be a little bit of a good indicator as to what is going on within this thunderstorm. You see the hail sizes, usually whenever we're talking about some big honker hail, that is on the higher side of the scale, but this is not very, very big hailstones that are in this thunderstorm right now. And I think, let me see if I can go back. There we go. So this is the track of the hail core from this thunderstorm, starting in northwestern portions of Burnett County, southwestern portions of Lampasas County, moving right to the north of Lampasas, producing up to or very close to golf ball size hail. But just recently, even with this tornado warning attached to it, the storm has started to lower that hail size just a little bit, which indicates that it could potentially be starting to weaken. It's getting disrupted in some shape or fashion. And this is all, oh man, look at all that lightning. This is just a 15-minute radar or lightning loop. This is still a lightning-packed thunderstorm. And I do want to point out that even though we're focusing very heavily on the tornado-warned storm just near Pidcoke, just near and east of Pidcoke, there is still a lot of lightning in this thunderstorm and very close to the thunderstorm as well. Another non-tornadic thunderstorm just near the Adamsville area could be producing a lot of lightning as well. Getting a much better look at this storm right now currently from our high-resolution radar out in Hamilton. And again, I'm not seeing imminent signs that this is going to produce a tornado within the next couple of moments. But, we want to respect the tornado warning. We want to respect this storm. There's that rotation just near the Pidcoke area, just near and to the east of it. Again, we're kind of bouncing around between different radars, and this is why we have a radar network, because we can take in a lot of different data from multiple different sources. Notice that there's a little bit of a discrepancy between one of the radars where the rotation is and where the other one is. So the Hamilton radar is not quite in the perfect position for the rotation, but the radar that we have down in Williamson County is in a little bit of a better spot. And again, just over the past couple of moments, that rotating winds, the rotation within this thunderstorm is kind of broadening out a little bit. What it kind of looks like going on just based off of the radar imagery is, we have this very strong south wind that is coming into this thunderstorm, but now the kind of outflow winds on the backside of the storm, the cooler air, the rain-cooled air that's coming behind it, it's trying to get on the other side of the storm, which is good because that will help to cut off that warm inflow circulation of air, and that could continue or cause this storm to continue to weaken. Pidcoke, flat. Stay in your tornado safe room. If you are in Kempner or Coppers Cove, you are in the all clear. And if you are in Gatesville, you are okay for right now. But I would just, especially if you're on the eastern side of Gatesville, western side of Gatesville, probably doing a little bit better as far as the tornado risk. So just keep an eye on the storm. But Gatesville center itself, and then also to the east, we can definitely, in a couple of moments, if this tightens back up again, have to call for you to go to your tornado safe room. So we're going to take a look at that. I'm also going to see if I can bounce over to our sky cam. Okay. Thank you, Josh. I'll get to that storm in just 1 second. I just want to switch over to the sky cam that we have over Gatesville, one of our newest sky cams. And if you watch our morning show, you know that it's a fan favorite sky cam with all the folks here at Channel 10. There we go. We got the Gatesville storm. So you can see definitely a lot of the heavy rain, the darkness that is coming there. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take over, Josh. I got it. There we go. Right there. So right here. There is some of the the kind of outer fringes of this thunderstorm. A lot of the heavy rain has been pushing through well in advance of this storm, so that's why we have on the Skycam a lot of moisture. We're still seeing this storm stay very far away, at least for the time being, from Gatesville. So again, if you're living in Gatesville, near and east of Gatesville, you are on watch for potentially moving into your tornado safe room. Pidcoke, parts of Fort Cavazos, Flat, you need to be in your tornado safe room right now, especially if you're along anywhere between Gatesville and Flat on Highway 36. Now, I'm going to draw a tracker box on this in just 1 second, just to kind of show you that this storm, should it continue to kind of maintain in strength and intensity, it could potentially impact parts of western McLennan County. But here is that latest tracker box. Again, we just have about 12 more minutes on this tornado-warned storm, and if it were to hold together, if it were to cross over from McLennan or into McLennan County, that could potentially be close to McGregor and Crawford, just a little bit past the top of the hour. All right. A couple of more things that we have going on here. There we go. Yep. Okay. All right. So just getting all the information from different folks, the National Weather Service and everything. We've been talking about this rotation within this thunderstorm, whether or not it's going to tighten back up, whether it's going to kind of lose and fizzle out and lose intensity. But, oh yeah, that right there. Even without taking a look at the rotating winds, just going to kind of scrub back a little bit. You see how there, right here, this is the hook echo within a thunderstorm. And first of all, this is a high precipitation supercell thunderstorm, so if you are trying to see this tornado, you're not gonna. So do not even attempt to try to see the tornadic part of this thunderstorm. But notice how that hook echo has kind of become a little bit more well-defined over the past couple of moments. That is a not great sign. That is at least indicating to the Weather Service, indicating to me here at the station that this storm is starting to tighten back up again. So Pidcoke, Flat, anywhere along Highway 36, you should be in your tornado safe room. Yeah, it is really starting to tighten back up again. Again, we're talking about the winds on the backside of this storm trying to cut off that warm inflow air, but we have so much warmth and humidity. We have so much wind shear in the atmosphere that those gusty south winds are just able to kind of overtake that the winds on the backside of the system. And if we take a look a little bit on the wide side across what's going on to the south, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that is just going to impede warm inflow air from moving into this thunderstorm. So continued tornado threat. Tornado warning continues until 11:30, but at least over the past couple of moments with that extra radar scan that we've been seeing, that tightening rotation, we are probably going to see this tornado warning get extended into at least the 12 o'clock noon hour and potentially a little bit longer than that. Oh yeah, this is jumping out at me. So we're going to zoom down to street level. Range Road, Western and Eastern Range Road, Owl Creek Road, North Fort Cavazos Gate. Again, in between Gatesville and Flat, the North Fort Cavazos Gate, under immediate threat of this storm moving towards you. We're talking probably within about the next 10 to 15 minutes that this storm is going to be arriving right down Highway 36. North Fort Cavazos, Flat, we are urging you to get into your tornado safe room, the lowest, most interior portion of your house, as quickly as possible. Want to do a quick little reset and show you what's going on across the rest of Central Texas. We are going to get back to that tornado-warned storm in just a moment, but there is another storm that is catching the eye of all of us here at Channel 10 and also into the Weather Service. It's this storm right here. Just a quick update on it. This is Hamilton County, a severe thunderstorm warning for this cell right here. This cell could be producing up to about quarter-size hail and near 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And as we get the tracker box on that, this is mostly going to go over the rural areas of Hamilton County, just to the south of Hamilton proper itself. So as this moves its way northeastward, this is pretty much riding right down Highway 22, going its way towards Cranfill's Gap. And if we are ever going to get a great view of a supercell thunderstorm on this high-resolution radar in Hamilton, this is it right here. here, just on the other side of the radar, on the south side of the storm. This is where the hail is right here, just to the east of Highway 281. Looks like we lost the coverage there for a second. Lots of rain, lots going on. So, you know, we have a lot of data coming in, but I do want to, of course, focus on the tornado warned storm. We've been looking at the rotation kind of going back and forth. It's been ebbing and flowing. Could it produce a tornado? Will it produce a tornado? And at least just over the past couple of scans, that tight rotation, the greens and the reds, very close to one another, we're continuing to see that cycle back up. So the tornado risk has increased a little bit. And now, oh yeah, this is a big update. Just in the past 2 or 3 minutes, we have seen a big increase in the tornadic winds, the rotating winds within this thunderstorm. Brand new tornado warning getting issued. Your phones are probably going off if you're in Coryell County or if you're in McLennan County now. This, kind of like what I've been mentioning over the past couple of minutes, that if this storm were to hold together, it'd be moving pretty much right towards McGregor and Crawford. And now, if you are in McGregor or Crawford, you are under a tornado warning. This tornado warning goes until, I believe, 12 o'clock, 12:15. So we're going to stay with this storm probably, unfortunately, for quite some time because, again, the greens and the reds, they've really bumped up over the past couple of moments, and you can definitely tell that just recently we're really seeing those strong inflow winds, and this storm is, I don't want to say violently rotating, but it very well could be. Gatesville, this storm is probably going to miss you to the south, but if you are anywhere around the city of Gatesville, I would urge you to get into your tornado safe room just as a precaution. The western side of Gatesville is probably going to be a little bit safer as far as the tornado chances than the eastern side of Gatesville. But if you are in Flat, and right now, North Fort Cavazos, that north gate, is under imminent threat of potentially a big tornado moving towards you. So if you are anywhere along Highway 36, anywhere in eastern Coryell County along Highway 84, you need to be in your tornado safe room right now. We're talking the north gate at Fort Cavazos, Flat. We're talking about Oglesby. We're talking about South Mountain. And I would say if you're in Crawford or McGregor, you need to keep a keen eye on this thunderstorm. You are under a tornado warning until 12:15, but you still have some time. You don't need to get into your tornado safe room right at the current moment, but as we put a track box on this and show you how it's moving pretty much right towards Crawford and McGregor, this is going to be moving towards you probably within the next about 30 minutes. So get on the phone, call your friends, your family, your relatives. If anywhere in this tracker box, the North Fort Cavazos Gate, anywhere along Highway 84 in Coryell County, Highway 36 as well, near Flat, near the North Gate, Crawford, McGregor, make sure that the folks that you care about, your loved ones, know that this storm is moving very, very quickly towards you. And right here, I do want to, let's see. Let's get really right down to this thunderstorm. So we have, this is a very, very strong burst of wind on the north side of the system. So it's indicating that the storm is rotating very rapidly. But right here, the greens and the reds, very close to one another. This is right over Brown Creek Road, moving its way right towards that north gate of Fort Hood. That is the tight rotation. This is the greatest tornado potential right here. And over time, as this moves its way northeastward, it could very, very well hold on to its strength because there is nothing, absolutely nothing to cut off the warm inflow air from this storm. So again, Flat, North Fort Hood. We're also talking South Mountain, Oglesby, and McGregor. Quick update coming from the National Weather Service. Thank you to Josh in the control room for letting me know that is ongoing right now. Give me 1 second to get this information. Okay. All right, just pretty much just like I was mentioning just a couple of moments ago, we're seeing a very, very strong signal on radar that this is over Fort Cavazos right now, so we really can't get any eyes on it, but a very strong signal that this storm is producing a tornado right now. We just don't have eyes on it currently, and as it continues to march northeastward, again, this tornado warning continues for not only Coryell County, but also into western McLennan County as well. The tornado warning, this first one is going to expire right around 11:30, but the new one is going to stay in place until 12:15. So again, Flat, North Fort Hood, North Fort Cavazos Gate, Highway 84, Highway 36, anywhere in between Gatesville and Flat, and also Gatesville and McGregor, get into your tornado safe room right now. When we say tornado safe room, what do we mean? We're talking about the lowest, most interior portion of your home. Second floor, not the greatest. First floor, much better. And if you have a basement, that is ideal where you want to be. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That includes maybe an interior closet, an interior hallway. Bathroom is a great place to be because, of course, a bathroom has all the reinforcement with the piping. Now, as the storm continues to move its way northeastward, this is, of course, moving its way towards a little bit more of a population down in Crawford and McGregor. If you're in Crawford and McGregor, anywhere up 317 between those two towns, you don't need to be in your tornado safe room right now, but you need to stay very aware that this thunderstorm, this potential tornado, is moving almost directly towards Highway 317. If you're thinking about going on your lunch break, it's 11:30 right now. I know a lot of folks are getting out, getting ready, maybe to start getting going for that lunch hour. Don't. Just absolutely don't, because you want to stay as far away from any sort of, you want to keep yourself safe pretty much as this storm continues to march its way towards you. And again, if you're in Crawford or McGregor, you have a big heads up that this storm is moving your way. So I would keep an eye on this storm, and we'll probably call for you to go into your tornado safe room, I would say maybe in about 10 to 15 minutes, should this storm continue to show this pretty intense rotation. This rotation, again, we've been talking about the north gate at Fort Cavazos. It is pretty much right overhead. Now, some good news is that where this storm is moving, it's kind of moving away from Fort Cavazos. So that means that we're able to get a little bit more eyeballs on it potentially. But this is going towards the eastern part of Coryell County. It's getting right into more populated locations. Flat, Leon Junction, South Mountain, Oglesby, you need to stay in your tornado safe room and stay there until we give you that all clear. We're also kind of getting into the part of this thunderstorm, or the location of it, where it is right now. It's kind of not in the greatest spot that we can see those tornadic winds. You see how intense those winds are on the right side of the storm, but notice the greens on the left side of that storm, not nearly as intense as what's showing up on the other side. So we're kind of getting into a little bit of radar no man's land as far as this rotating thunderstorm goes. But again, all signs, all indications are there that this storm, if it is not producing a tornado, it is very much imminently could produce a tornado. Might get a little bit of a better view as we take a look on the reflectivity. Now, I do want to say, there it was in Pidcoke. This is just about 15 minutes ago. As it's moving its way towards Highway 36, you can definitely still see that that hook echo is kind of getting a little bit hidden right now. But I urge anyone in the Flat area, South Mountain, Oglesby, near Highway 36, near Highway 84, do not attempt to go out and look at this storm. I know, look, it's the age of social media. You're going to try to snap a photo of it, maybe get, tons of likes. You will not be able to see this tornado, and you probably won't be able to see it at all, if not until it's too late, because this is absolutely shrouded in rain. Also, if you're on the eastern side of Gatesville, I would get into your tornado safe rooms as well, because again, the storm is moving more towards the north Fort Cavazos Gate, but if it takes a little bit of a jog, then it's moving right towards Gatesville. So if you're in Gatesville too, I would urge you to get into your tornado safe room as well. Pidcoke, you're in the all clear. Topsy, you're in the all clear. But the Flat area, North Fort Hood or Fort Cavazos Gate, you are seeing, of course, the strongest portion of this thunderstorm move directly towards you. And right now, at least from this latest radar scan you just saw us get back in, it looks like now the strongest portion of the thunderstorm is about to cross over Highway 36. FM 107, you are immediately in the path of this thunderstorm. So if you live anywhere along FM 107, immediate tornado safe rooms. Oglesby, immediate tornado safe room, immediate precaution. If you live anywhere between Gatesville and Oglesby on Highway 84, get into your tornado safe room. FM 185, kind of on the northeastern portion of Coryell County, I would get close to your tornado safe room and get ready to get in there. Again, we're talking about the lowest, most interior portion of your home, away from windows and doors. We want you to stay away from those because, of course, flying debris, and of course, the most interior portion of your home is usually the safest portion of your home. And I do want to point out, we're hearing some of the lightning, or hearing some of the rumbles of thunder here at our station, which is just up Highway 84. But if you're in McGregor, a little bit farther west on Highway 84, if we put this into motion, you can actually see that over the past about 30 minutes, here we go. There is that rotation. It's pretty much making a beeline towards McGregor. If you're in McGregor, you're gonna probably want to get your tornado safe room ready if it's not. I know a lot of folks, you may have a tornado safe room already picked out. You may already have blankets and helmets in that tornado safe room. Get ready to get and put those on, because if this storm does continue on its path, it is going to make a beeline towards McGregor itself. Crawford, you are also under this tornado warning too. Again, the warning goes until 12:15. Crawford may fare a little bit better, but it is far too early to say whether or not this storm is going to move towards Crawford or McGregor. McGregor is a little bit more in the path, so get ready to get exactly where you need to go. I do want to toss Brady. I think you're ready to go. Brady is tracking some other storms in the Weather Center too.
Yeah, Sean, I'll give you a little breather there as well. Thanks for your coverage on that. To give you kind of a wide view, again, a recap, we're just past the bottom of the hour here. A tornado watch is in effect for a large portion of central Texas. Now, sometimes people get mixed up on watch versus warning. So think of watch as kind of the pieces of the puzzle that are there. Warning means the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. Watch means keep in the back of your mind that a tornadic storm is possible. A tornado warning means a tornadic storm, or likely storm producing a tornado, is ongoing right now. This current tornado warning that is in place is due to a system that is radar indicated the possibility of producing a tornado. So right now it's crossing Highway 36 currently. So here's Highway 84. So Gatesville, South Mountain, here's McGregor, Oglesby, kind of in that area we're watching right now. What we're watching is kind of where this little notch is in all this activity. That's where this rotation is. So it has crossed Highway 84. So this is probably going to go just east of the South Mountain area. And again, McGregor, Crawford, Oglesby, kind of in that triangle there, you need to be prepared. As Sean said, we've got a storm with pretty significant rotation. You can walk outside and just see how soupy it is out there. Central Texas is known for what we call high precipitation supercells, so storms that are wrapped up in moisture. Also, it's just now exiting post, so there was no way for anybody to see what this storm was doing as it was moving across the range area of Fort Hood, or Fort Cavazos, excuse me. So again, the rotation right now is passing over Highway 36. This activity is working to the east-northeast. Again, it's kind of a broad area here. So you see this little notch, and you see how big this area is down here. That's also a sign that there's a lot of moisture. Earlier, the storm had more of a kind of smaller, more well-defined hook. That was when it was first had the tornado warning issued. So that was probably the time we were going to possibly see anything. But right now, the rotation, again, is in this area here where there's a lot of reflectivity showing up. So that's in an area where it's probably getting covered up with rain. So again, we want you to again, take this warning seriously. We're trying to get every angle we can of it, but the rotation has been ongoing for nearly an hour now with this storm. So it is a storm that, as Sean has been telling you, something we definitely need to take caution with. And again, before we go back to Sean, I do want to show you again, wide view across central Texas. Again, tornado watch covers all of our area. That runs till 6 o'clock. Doesn't mean we're going to expect tornadoes everywhere, but if you live in this polygon across Coryell and McLennan County, and then folks along I-35, particularly Waco northward, just keep an eye on the storm. We've still got a little while, and a lot can change with it, but something we're watching. We've got our full team here. We'll get it back to Sean on the wall.
Okay, a couple of things just coming down from the National Weather Service. One thing that, we kind of talked about it a little bit is that the hail within this thunderstorm has been kind of gradually weakening. This thunderstorm is potentially producing a tornado, and that's about it. The hail within this thunderstorm has started to really come down. And we don't want to discount the threat for hail, but of course, the more immediate threat is that tornadic rotation, the potential tornado that is moving its way right towards Highway 84. Again, we're kind of bouncing between a couple of different radars, so the view is. It's not the greatest right now, but if you're anywhere along FM 107, same thing, FM 1829, you are in the direct path of the strongest portion of this storm. Pidcoke, you're in the all clear. I would say Gatesville, you're still not clear just yet, but you probably have another about 5 to maybe 10 minutes to stay in your tornado safe room. Again, the rotating winds, you know, we're on a 30-minute loop right here. So there was at Pidcoke, and you can really see how bright those colors were, indicating the rotation. But now that this has crossed over Highway 36, we're only seeing one side of the thunderstorm getting rotation, but we're also kind of in not the greatest spot to see rotating winds. This is from the radar that's up in Fort Worth, and this is a little bit higher up into the atmosphere. So this isn't low to the ground, trying to indicate that low-level rotation, but the storm is still definitely rotating. This is a classic high-precipitation supercell thunderstorm. Again, I mentioned it a couple of moments ago. This thunderstorm, it is just a couple of miles away from Gatesville proper itself, so Gatesville, I would still stay in your tornado safe room for a couple of more moments, but anywhere between Gatesville and Oglesby, FM 107, Highway 84, you are under an immediate tornado threat. And I think we're getting pretty close to the time where I would say if you're in McGregor, I think now is the time to start to move to your tornado safe room. If you're in Crawford, it's getting very close to that tornado safe room time. The small community of Mound is pretty much right in the thick of the worst of this thunderstorm. Oglesby, you have just about another, I would say, 10 minutes before the worst of this storm is starting to bear down on you, but you should be in your tornado safe room right now. Again, McGregor and Crawford, we've been tracking this thunderstorm since it moved from Lampasas County into Coryell County, and we have seen this kind of consistent push northeastward. So again, Crawford and McGregor right up and down Highway 317 under threat of this tornado-producing storm. Okay, all right. So you see just in the bottom of our screen right there, we have a different view than what you've seen before. One of our storm chasers is out just near the Moody area. So in Moody, this would be the perfect position to view the structure of this thunderstorm. But because this is a high precipitation supercell, and because we have so much in the way of moisture in the atmosphere, so much rain, you can't see anything. So again, you don't take my word for it. That's all I'm trying to say. Take my word for it that this thunderstorm is moving your way. Don't go out and try to see it. You are not going to be able to at all. Again, kind of the latest update. We just got the latest warning update from the National Weather Service. The warning is still in effect until 12:15. But remember, we just talked about that hail size coming down a little bit, less than what is nickel-sized hail. So the hail threat is pretty much gone with this storm. The wind gust threat is going to be there, especially around where the tornadic rotation is. It is all about that tornado potential. If you are in the community of Flat, you have, I would say, 2 or 3 more minutes until I would say you can get the all clear. Even with the all clear being given, same thing with Gatesville. I think Gatesville about 3 to 4 more minutes until you can get out of your tornado safe room. Do not go outside. And again, don't try to look at this storm. Even though it's pulling away from you, this is a lightning charged thunderstorm, and lightning can strike 15 miles away from a parent thunderstorm. So even though this storm is not yet towards western McLennan County, lots of lightning and thunder could strike even as far as Mother Neff State Park and even close to the Moody area. I think though now is definitely the time if you are in McGregor or Crawford, McGregor especially, and especially on the western side of McGregor, if you live along Highway 84, you need to be in your tornado safe room right now. Your tornado safe room, it is the lowest, most interior portion of your room or of your house, as far away from windows and doors as you could possibly get. And you want to cover your head, get as low to the ground as possible. A bathroom is a great place to be. Also an interior closet, interior hallway. Get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That is what we're telling you to do, especially if you're in McGregor along Highway 317 or west of 317 along Highway 84. Now, recently, we've been talking a lot about McGregor, but notice how instead of moving more towards McGregor, you can kind of, if you with your eye, just kind of look to where this is going, this could potentially be moving more towards Crawford. So anyone along 317 from Crawford southward up to about McGregor, Moody, you're okay. But Crawford to McGregor on 317, western McLennan County, west of 317, get into your tornado safe room immediately. This storm could very well move towards Crawford. It could very well move towards McGregor. And especially if we have a stronger tornado, they typically move to the right. They typically move eastward. So even if it looks like this storm may be making a little bit more of a path towards Crawford, it could very easily quickly march eastward right down Highway 84, which is not something that, of course, anyone would want to see, especially if you live in western McLennan County. A little bit of a reset. Just want to go back out wide. We've been on air now for close to about an hour, and, of course, we hate to cover up coverage, but we do it because we want to make sure that your fellow Central Texans are safe, and this is a very, very dangerous storm. We have not only that tornado-warned storm, but we also have another severe thunderstorm that is moving its way from Hamilton up into Bosque County. This thunderstorm has been producing a lot of lightning, and right now over Cranfill's Gap, moving its way towards Meridian. This is a much tinier storm than the one that is in Coryell County, still producing a lot of lightning, still producing heavy rain, and also up to about quarter-size hail with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That is moving towards Meridian. I don't think there is much of any tornado potential with this thunderstorm. It just doesn't have the warm inflow air to get a storm to really, really rotate. It's still the main problem continues to be the storm that is now pretty much right over South Mountain and Oglesby. And look at all of the lightning within this thunderstorm. Whenever we get these severe thunderstorms, the more lightning that we see, typically it means the more unstable the atmosphere and kind of the more hecticness that is going on within this thunderstorm, indicating that it is staying very, very, very strong. So again, we're going to kind of switch back and forth between a couple of different radar sites, so bear with us for just 1 second. But again, if you're along FM 107, Highway 84, near South Mountain, near Oglesby, you need to stay in your tornado safe room for the foreseeable future. If you are in Gatesville proper, I would say you are in the all clear, especially in the western side of town. If you're near Highway 36 on the eastern side of Gatesville and you want to stay in your tornado safe room, I wouldn't blame you, but this storm is going to be slowly pulling away. The north gate at Fort Cavazos, you are pretty much in the all clear to come out of your tornado safe room, although I would not go outside again because of all the lightning. Flat, you are in the clear as well, but it's really that South Mountain Oglesby area. One thing we are definitely seeing